students that would do something inappropriate and they knew exactly what to do to quote unquote get out of it, which was to do what? What do you do when you get caught doing something? What's that? You apologize. I'm sorry. Really? You're really sorry. So I would say, sorry people change. If I see this behavior again, I know that you weren't sorry, and I know that you don't want to change. So I listen only to movement. All right? So as helpers, that's what we have to move to. Any questions so far? I know I'm hitting you with a lot of different stuff. Is this some stuff you've heard before, or is this out there? Okay. So sometimes I get out there and, in la la land. So I want to talk a little bit about good attitudes and bad attitudes. Good attitudes move us towards our goal, and bad attitudes move us away from our goal. All right? Or those are the side effects of the attitudes in which we're exhibiting. So a good attitude is proactive, moving me towards my goal, and a bad attitude is reactive. So I want you to I'm going to try and experiment with you. All right? So I'd like for each of you to find, either 2 people or 3 people. So if you can do that right now. So find 2 or 3 people. All right? So what I'd like for the 2 or 3 of you to do is I want you to plan a party. All right? But there's some specific rules to how I want you to plan this party. What I want you to do, after each individual says something or makes a suggestion about what should happen at this party, I want you to respond before you give your input with no but. All right? So, for example, what is your name? Elaine. So, Elaine, I think that we should have chips at this party. No, but I think we should have a zebra.
No, but I think it should definitely be elephant.
All right, great. So, do you get the principle? All right? So, I want you to do that, and I'll give you, now, I want to make sure you get a third person. So, the 3 of you guys get a third, make sure you have a third person. All right? Even if that, because we have 4 up here, so if we can make sure at the minimum we have 3 people. All right? So I'm going to give you about 90 seconds to do this. All right? So you may begin now. We're not doing the second. This one first. Keep going. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. What I'd like you to do is I want you to continue the conversation, but this time I want you to say yes and. All right? So before you said no but, I want you now to say yes and. All right? You may continue your conversation. Was there a difference between the first conversation and the second conversation?
Easier to say no but.
It was easier to say no but?
Yeah.
Please raise your hand if it was easier to say no but.
We got
Okay.
further when we used yes.
Yeah.
You said you got further when you got used yes and. Why do you think that was?
Yes, like plus sign, you can add.
Okay, so it's easy to add to when you say yes. There was something, someone said something over here. Okay, so it opens up opportunities, it's easier to work with people. Yes, ma'am.
Although I do think that yes and is better and not stanza, I felt like the reason it's easier for us to say no but is it forced us to come up with another solution.
Okay. Okay, so it became a little more creative because you limited the craziness. Okay.
But how no but can you come to a conclusion? Like we were just trying to work on the date and everybody's like, no, but this is this. No, but this is this. There was never, okay, that's settled, that's great. You couldn't get anywhere.
Okay, so you couldn't get anywhere. All right, folks in the back. Okay.
No, but what?
All right. It creates kind of an antagonistic relationship almost. All right. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so you can go around the problem, you can identify some stuff. In terms of energy level, what was the difference between the two statements? Yes, ma'am. You were laughing more. Wow, magician and trampoline. All right. Other folks. Okay, so no but kind of created a long conversation. Okay, so yes was kind of quick and kind of got things chirping along. All right. Other thoughts about this particular exercise? I borrowed this from my improv days. And one of the things that, and I don't know if you know, if you've seen this line, whose line is it anyway, or any of that improv comedy stuff, it almost seems like magic. The way they can take something from the audience and just make something happen. But this is one of the primary rules of improv, is that a scene dies when I decline to move it forward. And so, no, but says that your idea is not worth continuing on, but mine is. Right? Whereas, yes and says, I'll give you what you want, and I'll add this. So it goes back to the OJs, right? How do you change somebody's attitude? Give people what they want, and this. And so a lot of times, you know, kids have good or bad attitudes because we've given them the wrong choices. We've said to the kids, you can have peas or ice cream. What kind of choice is that? As opposed to, as adults, some of the things we should be saying is, you can have 10 peas or 7 peas. What do you think the kid's going to choose? 7 peas. But he's eating what? Peas. And so we get caught up, you know, as adults, we say, well, he needs to eat 10 peas. 10 peas. Why? Why? Right? And I find myself engaged in these power struggles with my students, and then, you know, my principal will be like, why? And then I go, I don't know. Right? Because it was more about me than it was actually about facilitating change for that young person. And so I had to learn a lot as a teacher. I think I learned more than my students did.
What, you didn't talk about the yes but though. We didn't do that.
No, we didn't do the yes but. And the yes but is just it's in between the two, right? So you are fake validating someone's argument, right? You know how we do sometimes. Like I have a friend that for the last 3 years we've been having lunch. Because every time I see him, I'm like, oh man, let's do lunch. He's like, yes, let's do lunch. We're going to do lunch. We're like, yes, let's do lunch. All right, I'll see you, man. All right, I'll see you later. Never said a date. Never, nothing, right? But happy to see each other. And so one day I just saw him and I said, look, let's keep playing our game, but let's really understand we're never going to do lunch. He was like, okay. Right? So that's what yes but does. So it validates somebody, but then you trick them with artificial Minnesota nice. Right? So there's that. I want to talk a little bit about good attitudes versus bad attitudes. Good attitudes, people take responsibility for themselves. They feel like they're in control. They feel competent. They feel creative. They're not only healing of themselves, but healing of other people. And they're compassionate, right? When folks have bad attitudes, it's typically other people's fault. There is a difference between a reason and an excuse. What's the difference between a reason and an excuse? A reason what? It's more legitimate. What's the difference between a reason and an excuse?
I think a reason requires personal responsibility.
Totally. Right? So a reason says, I personally take responsibility for this thing that happened. Where an excuse says what? It's not my fault. It's somebody else. You know, it was traffic. It was, you know, the bus. It was, you know, Ray. It's all sorts of stuff, right? And so people with bad attitudes typically fault others. They have a loss of control. They feel helpless. They're dependent. They're depressive. And ultimately, they become destructive, right? And what is it that people with bad attitudes want? What do they want?
They want other people to fix things for them.
They want significance, they want belonging, and they want safety. The goals are great goals. The methods are problematic. All right? They want significance, belonging, and safety, but their methods are problematic. All right? Questions, comments? We're just tripping along here. So how do we help clarify people's purpose? Oh. Let me go back. Oh, I'm hitting something too many times. So clarity of purpose. There is dignity and honor in being human. What is dignity? What's dignity? Is it like pride? Kind of like pride? Okay. Dignity. Self-respect. Self-what? Self-worth. Okay. Is dignity something that you have or something that you give? It is in fact both, right? You can give dignity to someone, but you can also have dignity, right? I see people on the side of the road with signs, paper signs that say what? Homeless, cardboard signs, homeless, what else? Feed me. I see those people. I work for a